Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet.
Well, hello again, everyone. Welcome back here to PTM Racing TV live from Avondale, Arizona, here at Phoenix International Raceway. Time has come here to settle back down and get to the Moonshiners, as the Moonshiners Rallycross League brings you their showcase event yet again here on the show. This is round 3 of their season. Hi everyone, I'm the Center Christian trying to join you guys today as we get ready to go for the action here on the way. Phoenix Raceway has set our tone, set our field up for what looks to be a wild day of racing here on the track, and with some serious heavy hitters looking to bring that wire down, bring the house down on the track. Should look to be a good starting point and a good race off here for these drivers as we continue this season out with some serious moments and some big crazy racing talents in the early stages and all around the track. And if I do sound kind of off as well, just be aware I have a really bad sunburn I'm still dealing with on my shoulders, and it's causing me to have a little bit of a little bit of a nicks there or two when I'm talking, so I apologize in advance, and that's why you hear the fan in the background. I'm trying to stay cool. Anyway, right now we're under qualifying session here. Cody Crosgrove, Christopher Hill, Aiden Irvin, Jason Taylor, McKenna Dean, Brad Thacker, Steve Blake, France Martel, Heath Robb, Marwan Martova, Mofta, I'm gonna say Mofta, Callie Bajent, George Young, Marcos Palacio, Daniel R. Hall, Trin Jin Wang, and Andrew Hale, all setting times on the track right now, and our first times have been set. Francis Martel managing to lay down the fast so far by a mere 100 of a second better than Christopher Hill out of the gate. McKenna Dan getting his lap down here and staying in the top 10 as usual. The number 62 gets a 6 fastest, about a 40.90. Still not enough to take down the 40.45. That is Francois Martel. Francois, one of the lone Canadians here with his teammates Cody Crosgrove in the 18, as well as McKenna Deanne in that machine here. And Crosgrove actually lays down a 40.34, only to be topped by the 101 Christopher Hill, 40.16. He'll set the fastest for now. Steve Clay getting the 8th fastest out of the bunch here. Good time for him. Jason Taylor now sets his lap down on the track. Yeah, nice little 11th spot out of the gate. And that will do the 15's run there. Francois Martel just laying down a few extra laps around the track. Just get himself kind of squared away, ready to bring it down. Now time to showcase our other drivers here in this field. Drinjen Wing, Marcos Palacio, Heath Robb, and Callie Bajent out on the track now. Callie just getting some serious anytime there. Callie getting a really big jump and leap off that corner. Off the jump, gets a good shot there in the arm. 100 of a second difference between Drin Jin Wang and Christopher Hill. Remember, Drin is currently back-to-back right now. He's the only one who has been undefeated so far. Last week may have been due to a little bit of a fortunate break there with the way the laps kind of performed down, the way timing was presented down the track. We'll see if that comes back to be a factor here. He's got a lot of work to do, though, as he continues to drive around. Marcos Palacio looking to set his time up. And his time will be in the 12th fastest run. So a little slower. And last lap there for Jinjin Wang, not very much better, unfortunately. Not able to take down Christopher Hill. Hill sets the fastest time of the day. Francois Martel has completed his laps around, so now he's just kind of laying down a few more time lapse, if you will, just kind of see what he can get for a feel in the car and feel the track wise. So drivers have only about 50 seconds left on the qualifying end here. So while they're dealing with that, let's go ahead and take a look at our race info for tonight's action here at Avondale, Arizona's Phoenix International Raceway. So, the Moonshiners invading Phoenix International Raceway today here on the Rallycross track configuration. Don't mind the big blue over there on the outside. That's just the track not conforming where it should be on our end. Anyway, here's how the track layout looks today. And, well, I'm not gonna lie. The first time I ever saw this image, I immediately thought this was just a big whale track. It's like, does it not kind of look like a bit of a whale? I'm sorry. Anyway, big straightaway here on the front on the stretch to get to the finish line. Very tight little corners though to have to work around. But take a look at that little sloping slide on the very end before the final turns for the finish line. You see that sweeping, literally almost kind of a 180-degree swing turn. That's where you're going to see a lot of action kind of kick off as drivers are getting closer to that off that jump, setting them up more for a position or two off that run and off that line here. So going to be very interesting to see how it plays out as we get set to go for our first heat of the day. Starting him up, it's Christopher Hill in the 101. Cody Grosgo will be in the 18. Runner, and then Aiden Irvin. And that big 259, the 62 is McKenna Deanne. Steve Clegg filing in 22 with Brad Thacker in the big 50. Andrew Hale getting the 4. Jason Taylor will start him up in the number 15. And race fans, time has come. We're underway. Action's hot, and the smoke comes clear with some heavy artillery coming their way. Moonshiners engage. It's time to run the It's trying to run the shine. 5 laps of the distance here. We're going to mount to the gate early on. Christopher Hill takes the early lead. McKenna Deanne trying to get right back into the mix here as Andrew Hale and Cody Crosgo follow from behind. And the Hail Mary attempts thrown off from the jumps. Huge hang time from these drivers, and yet they still seem to land them A-OK. Looks like they may have got the suspension worked out on the kinks there. Going right around out of the next set of turns here. Every driver for themselves as they continue to march their way around. Steve Clay kind of faltering back just a little bit on the ends here. Said his goal this season was just to make all the A mains. Well, he missed the first one, but he did get into Sonoma. So from Daytona then into Sonoma, was able to at least strike around that one. Here at Phoenix International Raceway, though, this is not going to be an easy task to even get into the top spots. This track commands your respect and it commands your timing and execution. It is an absolute wild track to work around, and it's a very tall order. Aiden Irvin having some problems down there as well. Goes into the inside pits there of the 180-degree swing, the 180-degree swimming turn there. Just a huge run of speed and a huge amount of momentum you got to carry into that corner just to try to keep this thing online. Coming right back on the action now here. Still firing them down, firing them up a little bit. Christopher Hill, your race leader. Brad Thacker, the big 5.6, not the 5.0, I guess, today. I'm so used to being him in the big 5.0. I'm kind of sad now. It's in the 56. I guess he wanted to try to get back to his normal colors down there, which we'll see him back in his normal colors come Tuesday night. You'll see him with the Champ Power Cup Fast Fun Cup Series when that time comes. But nevertheless, though, Christopher Hill, the race leader here in the number 101, has not left the field, not left his speeds here. He's keeping a great distance, great power off the corners here. Keeping these boys honest and keeping them under control here. Andrew Hale, the number 4, the driver that was really almost close to winning out the championship outright last season, looking to get the Red Bull 4 back into the fray. Aiden Irvin, little troubles down there, unfortunately, though. He'll get that 259 kind of swung around a little too hard into the turn. Here's another look at it. This sharp 90-degree angle turn here can get the best of you, and it got the best of him there. It's a spot you just cannot overshoot the turn with, and you can't overdo your run with, and I know that all too well. I've had success here on this track, and that turn will get you before you know it. And speaking again before you know it, McKenna Deanne using the Joker on Christopher Hill. Did not use his Joker, but thankfully that's probably the best time to use it now. He sees McKenna spin it right out in front of him. And a huge bobble there by McKenna. gives Christopher Hill the time he needs, sets it off from the Joker, evading the dirt spot there, gets a great bit of speed off, and Christopher Hill will bring the 101 into victory lane for number 1. He'll advance the A main, and McKenna somehow, someway, gets it straightened out quick enough to get second place. Third will go to Cody Grosgo. What a finish. And that's just going to show you guys how tricky this is going to get for some of these drivers. They're going to have to watch themselves no matter where they're at in position, no matter where they're at on the track. The enigma of these Legend 34s and these Rallycross tracks is certainly something that kind of differs to the next gen series. But anyway, Christopher Hill comes away with a win. McKennedy in second, third to Cody Grosgo, fourth to Andrew Hale, fifth Brad Thacker. Next field of drivers, Dren Wang in the 00 with the 12 Francois Martel. The 19 is Daniel R. Hall, and the 119 is Marwan Moftah. And then we got Callie Bajent in the 114, and that is going to be the 83 of Marcos Palacio. 77 of Heath Ropp, and George Young in the 48 rounds out your field. Next set ready to go here on PTM Racing TV. Off the start, green flags back on out. We're back on our way. Coming around that first corner, and Dren Wang way too hard on the bottom end. Couldn't get it back up into the bankings. Lost all his speed. Now he'll have to try to regain it back. The early advance to Francois Martel, and using strategy to his name. He knows Dren's going to be coming this way. He goes for the Joker early. Trying to block his run, trying to block his speed. Right through the middle of the corners, though. Here comes the 119, Marwan Moftah. Battling it hard with Callie Bajent in the 114. Bajent trying to get a run on the right side. Trying to get some speed going in between. Francois Martel, though, holds the lead. Dren Wang uses his Joker up early, and he's not going to get much speed back from it, apparently. He's got that 19 right in front of him. That is Heath Ropp, Daniel R. Hall right on his left side. Swings it by. Nice pass there off the corner. And the Hoosier 19, Daniel R. Hall, now has to try to make a decision on when he'll have to go for broke here. Heath Ropp in the 77 goes to the Joker. And, oh, there goes Daniel upside down, way too hard off the jump, and the suspension not able to do its work there. Gets it back on all four wheels. He'll be able to refire, but my, the rear end just bouncing straight up and down, and on around she goes. 3 laps left to go here at Francois Martel. Literally, last time we saw him was at the Citadel Rallycross Racing League, and my, did he have a chance to pop away with his first career win in the A main, but unfortunately he forgot what it was like when you try to knock down the top dog of them all, and that being, of course, Louise. And that was a tough little real deal there for him, having to go away from that race, knowing that he lost that one out, all right, just by sheer speed alone. Louise's speed was just way too much on the corners and way too much on the power, and he knew he was going to have to work around it later on. The rest of your field currently trying to describe and trying to figure out the rest of the field here. It is currently George R. Young in the number 48, slowing down off the back here with 2 laps to go, having way too much troubles into the corners. That Miller Lite 48, George Young knows he cannot make too many mistakes here. He's got to stay focused on his run, stay focused on his track. But he knows there's still plenty of time in the last chance qualifiers to come back from it all. Marwan Moftah now going to have some company. Dren Jang to his right side. Putting on the speed and on the power, and gives old Marwan a little bumper or two for the run of his troubles. White flag is out, and the Moonshiners are making some runs here. Dren is not playing anything there. He wanted that position. He said to Marwan, give it or get out of my way. Well, Marwan says it's time for you to feel the same thing, my friend. Puts it right up against him. Marwan, by the way, did not use his Joker. Dren going to have, he's got a rake in his room for work here. Has to get off the jump and get through the corners quickly. But for Francois Martel, the number 12, takes another heat and another victory. He'll go to the A main. And Dren Wang just barely able to outsmart and outrun Marwan to the end. Marwan will go third. Dren will advance to the A main. How about that? The old bump and run, shove and dive, juck and jive it around the town, and around you go. We've got ourselves a battle, and that one gave Dren Jinwang all he needed. Last chance qualifier is now getting ready to go. We'll take a few drivers from this one here into the A main, but here is the results here. Top 5 drivers, I'll call them out. Francois Martel, Dren Jinwang, Marwan Moftah, Heath Ropp, and Daniel R. Hall coming away out of the top 5. Rest of the field will have their hands full. In this final last chance qualifier, Aiden Irvin will be in the number 1 spot. Callie Bajan will be ranked 2. Steve Clegg going to be ranked 3rd. George Young going to be the 4th, and the 5th being Jason Taylor. Marcos Palacio unable to race. Off the line to the chicane, we're back underway. 7 laps in this one. And Jason Taylor is going to take a bit of an early backseat ride here as the 259 of Aiden Irvin takes the early lead. Now moving it right into the joke early. Callie Bajan going to try to stay right with it. Steve Clegg, though, leads second off before heading into the joker. Aiden using the speed of the 259 around the joker lap. Taylor following in suit here. Steve Clegg trying to stay ahead of the field here. And Taylor, where the heck is Jason Taylor going? My word, he literally just went past a lot of cones there. That is a 5. That's going to be at least a 2-second penalty for cutting 2 corners there. He cut a lot of corners on that little run there. He's going to back it down the right side. The 15's going to slow down before he gets one of the other guys. Callie Bajan going to get slammed right in. Callie not going to be liking that too much. What? Some sick air there, though. Making some good run and timing off it. Steve Clade's holding on to second place right now. Aiden Irvin is your race leader. And Steve Clade, more trouble. Gets into Callie. Callie is now slammed into the turn. Now Bajan's going to have troubles. Here comes George Young in the 48. And Aiden Irvin managing to squeak by early on and managing to stake the early advantage. Now Clay back on the throttle quickly, trying to stay ahead of his old friend and teammate. You know, I had this little reoccurring joke on here that George Young is the last remaining driver of the Fast and Fun League that has never won on PTM Racing TV. Because he is one of the founding guys that we ever mentioned or we ever brought on to the show. He still is without a race win. And despite his efforts, this isn't going to help his cause any. It's not time to do a breakdance on the track here, George. Upside down goes the 48, and the Miller Time Machine wrecked hard there after hitting the barriers. Tough break there for George, and going to be put back quite a bit into the shadow realm, if you will. Irvin right now, I mean, you can't really say anything else but just pure dead focus in that boy's eyes right now. But knows he needs to be a little bit careful about where he lands because he just saw what happened to George a minute ago. He knows what's going on down there. Callie Bajan looking to try to get back into this as well. Has not used his joker. Neither has Steve Clegg. So both drivers inevitably will be using those up as soon as they can. I know you're not going blind. No, you're not going crazy there, folks. Yes, the damage does get fixed instantly on these cars, of course, because otherwise then you'd have so many damaged up cars around here. 3 laps left. Aiden Irvin still your racer by about a 13-second gap right now. Jason Taylor, well, he kind of did it himself. I'm not going to lie to the guy, but he just kind of overdrove that corner there off the joker. Try to cut the corners and then ended up getting a big penalty for his troubles. That's why you cannot try to test the rules and regulations of a rallycross race because they will bite you before you know it. We're down to the 2 to go marker. White flag will pop up next time by. Steve Clegg, Callie Bajan, you can see a little bit further in the distance here. Clegg trying to stay ahead here of Callie, as you can see. The 114 not giving anything up. Bajan wants a piece of Clegg. Maybe a little bit of payback on that 22 for earlier on. Not quite going to be sure if that will go that way here and if that will play the roll out, but there's still some time to be had. Two laps left to go, and now Aiden Irvin coming across the stripes. One more time by. One more chance to get into that A main. Clegg and Bajent, the last two drivers that can get into it. Bajent wants to try to overtake Clegg here by getting a good run off of him. Clegg, though, able to hold the line down, mastering the run and mastering the corner here. Irvin just needs to stay focused and finish this one out. Clegg, if he can somehow, some way, defend out Bajent entering into that joker, that will help him out tremendously because Bajent is really going to try to drive that thing in, I guarantee you, Adam. But as we go to our final corners, there's no catching this one. The 259, Aiden Irvin will pop away with the race win. And a solid win here in the last chance. Major points up for grabs, and he takes them all. As there's trouble down there, unfortunately, Steve Clegg runs it into the wall protection again. And it looks like his hopes of getting that A main's going to be thrown away again. Caleb Agent just needs to get through the corners and is successful. The 114 will take second in advance. And Steve Clegg definitely cannot be too happy about this one, but knew what this risk was and knew what was going to play out if it came to that moment. And unfortunately, it came to that moment, and apparently Jason Taylor decided to send it on to the Shadow Realm, I guess you could say. Time for warm-up practice now, race fans. 1 minute 50 seconds on the clock. Dan Megan saying go JJ on the call here today. I believe he's rooting on Drinjin Wang is what he's talking about. But nevertheless, Dan, good to have you back on board here, bud. Good to hear from you. Field drivers right now just ready to field back up and ready to place back onto the track. So much chaotic runs and so much chaos built around this track here. It's been absolutely a great time, though, to say the least. It's been a fun time to watch. It's going to be interesting to see here how far things will go, though, when we get further and further into this runs and into the series. So field right now getting set to go for the action at hand here. Just about 20 seconds left on the clock. Honestly, we're kind of predicting this race here. It's kind of hard to really give you guys a good prediction because these Rallycross races are just so chaotic off the starts, and they could get even more chaotic later into the night or in the day. I can't really give you guys, honestly, a good representation of who to really keep your eye on or who to keep your eye out for, because anything happens on those starts and anything can really change it. Drinjin Wang's been fast, but he made a huge mistake on the first corner entering into the first set of turns off the start. Christopher Hill, while we know he's been definitely getting better about racing these kind of runs, but popping away with a win will be easier said than done for him. It's anybody's guess. I'll let you guys be the decider in the comments. Either way, here is our field of drivers. 12 enter. Christopher Hill, Francois Martel, McKenna Deanne, Drinjin Wang, Cody Crosgrove, Marwan Moftah, Andrew Hale, Heath Rupp, Brad Thacker, Daniel Hall, Aiden Irvin, and Caleb Agent is going to be the final set field for the day. Awaiting green flag start. There's a green flag. We're out. And like the Kentucky Derby, the horses are off and running to their position from their starting spot. Right into the first set of corners. Trouble right out of the first set of turns here. Caleb Agent, Kennedy and Heath Robb involved in this one. Into the Jokers. Drinjin Wang will follow behind Christopher Hill, entering off into the first set. Trying to get a jump early. Francois Martel actually right in there. Drinjin Wang is striding out the actual track. Christopher Hill looking to try to get the early advantage here to get back into this run here. Every driver for themselves as they enter it off. Cosgrove getting right there with Kennedy. Now moving him into position here. Andrew Hale trying to throw a Hail Mary attempt around at Daniel Hall. Hall trying to keep away from losing his speed early. Wolf Dot dealing with some company right behind him though. Now here comes Hale in the number 4 Red Bull machine. Swinging him down into the big jump off the landing strip. Hard landing there for the number 4 of Andrew Hale. Able to keep it all on all fours though. At least Cosgrove watching off from behind as Moftah is starting to eat some dust and eat some dirt around here on the sandy pits of Phoenix Raceway. Big pass here by Hale. Takes full control. Oh, wait a minute. There's trouble down there. We've got 2 upside down. And Francois Martel and Drenjen Wang have wrecked completely out. What has happened? And Drenjen Wang getting Martel back on all 4 wheels. He wants him to finish this race out. He doesn't want him on his lid. Respectful driving on his end there, but what the heck happened here? Drenjen Wang goes right in for the kill blow, and look at this. Oh my! A huge hit there. Dren was trying to get the pass and unfortunately cost both drivers any speed and any workaround. But sportsmanship and credit where credit's due to Dren, at least going back to save Francois from staying upside down the whole time. Gives them both the chance to try to get some points, as Christopher Hill has now just gained a full 3.5 second lead over the entire field. That's a big moment there. You can't make mistakes like that, and you can't give openings up like that at all. McKenna Deanne, by the way, not used his joker up. Christopher Hill has. McKenna could use this to his advantage and maybe have a way to get around to Christopher. Christopher is back about 3.25 seconds here. A little bit off the pace, and a little bit more off the pace even more now. Marwan Motah getting a huge hit there from the number 56 as they exit off the jump. Here's the PTM instant replay. Well, the producers down here are getting some work around here. Watch this. Motah all over the place and then slams it right into the wall protection. Brad Thacker didn't even see him there. Got a whole lick of him there and got a whole spot or two. Cosgrove gets some hang time and man, do a slight little wheelie there coming off. Got some jumping abilities, that's for sure. I guess in basketball they would say you got hops or you got some jump kid. I don't know what the heck to say. You guys tell me in the comment section. Daniel R. Hall, the Hoosier, number 19, trying to get back out there with Andrew Hale, number 4, looking for some serious points and some serious ground here to cover. Hale hasn't really been around here on PTM Racing TV all that much this season. Looking to make it a bit of a comeback resurgence here with this race today. McKenna Deanne is going to wait out to the last lap I'm proposing right now. Thinking maybe if he can find a way to get to Hill a little bit quicker, he might be able to overtake him. He doesn't want to use up the Joker until absolutely needed. That Joker is meant to be a stable ground for a little battle back. And Cosgrove knows this as well. That's why he used it so early, just to try to gain position to gain him quickly. The only other drivers that have not been in on the Joker, Hale, Hall, Irvin, and Bajent are the only ones that have yet to use their Joker. Besides Deanne right now, as Deanne has a little bit of a battle coming up from Cosgrove. Cosgrove will not leave him alone at all, and he knows it. As he continues to just slide through into the dirt, into the sand pits. Daniel R. Hall now making a great comeback here at Andrew Hale. Hale with a little bit of company right behind him there, trying to stabilize it down. Both drivers continuing to mash the gas, mash the loud pedal, and hope for the best. And Francois Martel, talk about a comeback in that number 12. Oh! Takes a corner from the 114. Gally Bajent wanting nothing to do with him, wants him to stay back there. He says, no way, Jose, I'm going for broke. I guess Dren got me earlier, now I'm getting back at all of you. Well, the 12 was not able to make the pass there. Drenjen Wang has gained up into the 7th spot right now as we continue to move through. Aiden Irvin falling further and further back into the field, and Andrew Hall starting to lose more ground and more coverage here. The drivers are starting to give a little bit more than they're getting. The 19 now of Daniel R. Hall moving up ahead of the 4 of Andrew Hale. Uses his Joker wisely and uses it very well. Oh, trouble down there once again. Drinjin Wing with problems exiting off the jump. Can't seem to escape his troubles here at Phoenix. He's not going to go way back with a triple K. He can still say he's one of the only drivers that ever got a back-to-back win here, but slamming it right into that barrier there off the jump. And once again, that barrier is like an unforgiving steel mesh there. It does not feel good, I can tell you that much. It's like a spider web once you hit it. McKenna Deanne has now literally taken the gap off Christopher Hill by about a second and a half. Has yet to use his joker. Christopher knows this is a bad deal. If McKenna's getting this much speed, imagine what he'll get when he gets that joker. He is lining it up and setting up for position, knowing that this could very well go his way. He just needs Cosgrove to stay away from him. McKenna continuing to ride out the track. Has not been to victory lane yet this season, and I don't think he was there even last season. Christopher Hill with a little bit of inexperience right now on the track, just trying to save his tires, save his car up, but he knows he's in trouble. Andrew Hale now throws a Hail Mary into the joker lap, but unfortunately clings a little too close off the exit. Was not a good exit there. Daniel R. Hall keeps it ahead, and man, I don't know how many more times I got to keep getting the camera on Drinjin Wing, but more troubles for that double O off the jump. 2 laps to go. And look at this, McKenna Deanne, he sets it up. There comes the joker. The joker is enabled. Now entering in the turns. Watch to your right side of your screen. Christopher Hill on the inside. McKenna there on the far left. Now trying to drive it off. Hill gets a good exit. McKenna not able to use the speed. Look at the distance there by Hill. Hill able to stay ahead. We've got a 1 to go marker now in the air. McKenna did not get any extra speed. Hill was playing bossum, saved his speed and saved the tires up. McKenna needs to start driving this thing into the ground if he wants any chance now. Christopher Hill caught a huge break earlier on, being left all alone. Gets a great landing off the jump. Deanne much safer landing. Cosgrove nearly sends himself to the shadow realm off that jump, but entering into the final turns, Christopher Hill sets the 101 into victory lane, and another victory for Christopher as he brings it home for the Moonshiners Rallycross at Phoenix. McKenna Deanne with a great comeback there comes away second place as he decides to send it to the shadow realm, if you will. Daniel R. Hall and Andrew Hale with a great comeback and there to meet their race. Gally Bajan going to put the joker up on the 114 and finish out with a 7th place to Francois Martel 6th. And surprisingly, Drinjin Wing goes 8th out of the bunch. Heath Roth going to go 7th and 77 into 9th, I should say. And that's not 119. Marwan Mokhtar will put it into the 10th slot. What a race and what a finish here. And there he is, race fans. Your race winner at Phoenix Rallycross track today, Christopher Hill, the big 101. A victory that he's certainly going to be proud of and happy to know that will gain him some serious points and traction entering into the next part of this season. We'll have to see if he can continue that hot streak and continue that momentum up. But now it's time to take a look at the race results now popping up on your screen. The Moonshiners finishing out with Christopher Hill on top. McKenna Deanne, though, going 2nd. 3rd to Cody Cosgrove. 4th to Andrew Hale. Daniel R. Hall going 5th. Francois Martel 6th. 7th to Drinjin Wang. Heath Roth going 8th. And 9th to Gally Bajan, with 10th being Marwan Mokhtar being your final finisher of the day. And it looks like old Christopher down there wanted to send it down for some donuts. Well, at least we know those legend cars can get some kicking up some dirt as they are supposed to. Time to talk with our top 3 finishers today. Joining me now, race fans, in your 3rd place spot today in the number 18 is Cody Cosgrove. And Cody, first off, congratulations on your first ever podium here on PTM Racing TV. And secondly, you know, you had a great little battle there with your fellow countrymen there in that big old 62. But it looked like coming down to the wire, he was starting to kind of run away from you. Were the jumps starting to affect things for you, or what was going on down there?
Yeah, the jump was screwing me up a lot. Like that last lap, I thought I was gonna lose the podium because I got a weird bounce, Like I thought I was gonna crash and hit the wall. But yeah, that jump last couple laps was screwing me up, and I was trying to get him on the inside on the hairpin, but he'd always get the run and get me on the straightaway. So yeah, it was fun.
It was fun, and it was a bit of a wild little end there, and definitely could have been a crazier little spot to throw yourself into. But I mean, hey, I mean, a third place finish for a first time, I had had the feeling that it definitely was much needed and much useful there for you and the crew.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting a podium, but I'll definitely take it. It was definitely a fun night.
Absolutely, indeed. Well, nevertheless, though, a very solid performance and a solid third place end for you and the crew today. Who do you want to thank for that?
Oh, I just want to thank you guys for putting on a good show, and the wife and kid, and that's pretty much it.
For sure there. All right, Cody, congratulations on a third place finish, sir. Well deserved for your first podium here on PTM Racing TV.
Thanks, guys.
Cody Grosgrove, ladies and gentlemen, he'll come away here, your third place finisher out of the bunch. In the second spot today, fellow countryman, potted on number 62, McKenna Dean will come away here in second place. McKenna, what a battle here, my friend. You had the right strategy, you had the right mindset, but I think Hill may have played a little possum there on that last two laps.
Yeah, well, I was fighting that 18 car for literally since lap one. The 18 was just faster. There's no way around it, but I managed to keep myself a rolling roadblock for 12 laps. Track position early really did me well here, and it was the same for the heat. It was a good points haul today.
It was indeed, and I know there's a little bit of craziness in between you and the drivers and the rest of the field, kind of coming down to the line, coming down to the wire. I mean, how much more insanity could it have it become, or how could it have gone if anything, with the way the race was kind of burning down on the track?
There was a huge pileup with some of the leaders like really early, and that kind of spread out the lead pack for the first little bit. I heard through the radio chatter the calamity that was going on from like eighth back, and I suppose if those guys got tangled up and we came back around, and it could have been another incident.
It could have indeed, but at least at the end of the day, though, it's still a second place finish. It's going to be something you can look back on and get some points off of too. So McKenna just came away second. Anybody want to thank for that today?
Thanks to Screeching Moose Motorsports, the whole team, good group of guys that put this on for our iRacing thing and our mini stock, and thanks to Clegg for putting the league together, and thank you for you to broadcasting it and getting it up for everybody to see.
Absolutely, McKenna. Congratulations, sir. We'll catch you next time out here, buddy.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, McKenna Dean coming away second out of the bunch. Only toppled down by the man that drives in the big 101, Christopher Hill. Another victory, my friend, and a huge win for you and this crew. I'd have to say a feeling or two that this was a bit as chaotic as it needed to be, but definitely a big win for you and this team today.
Yeah, that was quite an interesting one for sure. I mean, I guess there's something about this track that seems to fit, because last season ended up winning here, and then it just kind of clicked tonight, and somehow all the stars aligned, because JJ and Francois were there, and definitely, like, looking at the heat race speed, Francois had the outright heat race speed to have a good run at it, if not beat me, kind of a thing, and I just got. It's a shame to be fortunate when something like that happens to teammates and friends and stuff like that, where they bounced off each other like they did, because that was the main thing. And then had a nice scare mid race with bouncing off a barrier after the after the jump, and so somehow coming out of it in good shape. So happy with the win, definitely, for sure.
Happy with the win. Now I gotta ask you too. I mean, I know you just kind of put it on the nose, kind of hitting that barrier, slowed down a little bit, but I mean at the same time was a little bit of that last two laps there, kind of just making sure McKenna couldn't quite catch it there in the bid and just kind of make the run for the last end there.
Well, I mean, yeah, once it got down to under 2 seconds, it was like, okay, I need to make sure I really put something together here for the last couple laps to try to make sure I secure it, because I didn't quite know how fast he was going to get through the Joker, and if he was going to be able to make up enough. So I just tried to put together the best laps I could, and I think it was just enough. You know, I had a couple tenths or something, and that was about enough to, you know, per lap. So that was enough to get it. But definitely kept me looking in the rear view for a little bit there, and kept the pressure on. So that was fun.
You certainly did indeed. Well, nevertheless, though, here Christopher has come away here with the win today here at Phoenix. Is there anybody you want to thank for that, sir?
Just gonna mention Team Watson Racing. They've I've been working with them and such recently, and running with them and a bunch of stuff, and great group of guys to run with, and all kinds of different racing. We do a bunch of different stuff together, and always just gonna mention Precision Racing Instruction. That's my my company. I coach people both in the real world and in the sim, and so if anybody's looking for a tune-up, you could either reach out through Instagram, Facebook, or if you have me connected up here on Discord, feel free to reach out and we'll get you tuned up. Thanks for the broadcast, and hopefully we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I think we certainly will indeed here, Christopher. Well, nevertheless, though, sir, congratulations on a race win. We'll see you next time out, buddy.
Sounds good. Have a good one.
You too. Christopher, ladies and gentlemen, the big 101, a big victory for him and his crew today. And race fans here, the Moonshiners, once again, putting on a performance not only they know how to do, and they certainly lived up to the hype and lived up to the track. We thank you for your time here, race fans, this night. We will see you tomorrow night, of course. Well, actually, no, not yet. We may have something in store. We don't know. If not, we will have the night off. But Tuesday night, for sure, we're returning with Champ Barrico and Fast Fun Cup Series. And Wednesday night, we will have a race there from the Venom Truck Series back on the show. But until then, here on PTM Racing TV, we sign off with this. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next time when the green flag flies.